Hello everyone, welcome back. I am so excited to be here. It's been a while since I uploaded a new video here on my channel, but life has been a little bit busy and tough. I just wanted to take some time off in order to organize my affairs and then being able to have time to sit down and talk to you guys and also create for my business. First, let me introduce myself. My name is Danelis. I am a polymer clay artist and I'm the owner of Colorful Dolls, where I make fun and colorful polymer clay accessories. Today is gonna be a really chatty video, so I advise you to grab a snack or your favorite drink and sit down and relax. Today I just wanted to talk about some changes that are coming to my business and also all my business goals for the year of 2026. I sat down this last week and tried to think about all the things that I want to achieve business wise this year. I'm really excited. I believe this year there's going to be a lot of experimenting with my business. Last year was basically just starting my business and getting used to this new material, like it is polymer clay. I used to do macrame jewelry, so those are different mediums. So I just took my time last year to create this new business and practice and get better at polymer clay. I still have a lot to learn, but I've been enjoying it so much that I want to continue this business. And this year is going to be again all about experimenting and adding even more to my business, which so far it's been doing great, thank God. I actually have my first order in this studio here since I moved for one of the tomato basil earrings, and I am really excited because I was able to actually go to the post office for the first time and see how that is here, because I know that on my previous home, my post office was really close. I used to live in a military base. My husband is military, so here's a little bit different because we bought a house, so we are, in our own world, and the post office is a little bit farther away than it used to be on my previous home. So that's a little bit of a change, but that's completely okay. To start this video, I want to update you in some things that happen that may or may not affect my business. Of course, you probably already know, and if you don't, I'm gonna tell you right now, I moved from one state to another. I used to live in Maryland, now I live in Florida. I've been loving living here, especially the area where I live now. It's like a beachy small town vibe, and I love it. Like, my nervous system is just like, oh. One of the things that had bring this change is that I will have to get a full-time job. At first I thought it was going to be something that I will regret, but now that I have think about it a little bit more, I actually feel like it's better. I lived in a military base, so bills weren't an issue. Now that we are homeowners, there's other responsibilities financially that we have to take into consideration that we didn't before. That being said, I've been actively looking for full-time jobs. Usually when it comes to working full-time and having a small business, that means that I may not have the same amount of time to spend or to focus on my business full-time like I'm right now. Of course, that's not happening yet, so I will try to focus as much time as I can while I can on my business, but I have to be realistic that if I do get a full-time job, I will have to dedicate certain amount of time when I can to my business. I don't plan to close my shop or my business by any means. We are not going anywhere, so I'm not worried about it. I'm just going with the flow. Again, this is the year of experimenting, so that's part of the experimentation. When it comes to my goals, my business goals, my first goal, it is not actually a goal, it's more like a change or like a pivot. And it is, I am no longer will be doing really curated collections. I feel like in my brain, when I say collections, I think about a lot of designs, and they all have to be really cohesive and have to have a specific theme. At first, I try to do that, and sometimes it worked, but I feel like it gives me too much pressure to do this thing, and I know that my brain works by design, so sometimes I just think about one design, and from that design I may think about two more, and that will become like a launch or like a tiny capsule. I will just came up with one design, and then I will try way too hard to make other designs work into that theme in order to drop them, because I thought I always had to do collections, when that's not true. You can actually drop just one product and that will be okay. As long as it's a product that you are actually proud of, that's totally okay. So that's one of the things that I want to do. I want to like change my mindset that I'm no longer creating collections, I'm just creating designs that will launch together in a specific date. That mindset is why I want to focus on seasons, meaning also that I'm not going to participate in some holidays like 4th of July, St. Patrick's Day, Easter, things that are just for a few days or just one day. I am not gonna do that. I'm just gonna try to create designs that are inspired by the season, that can work on the entire season, meaning that you can use them on those holidays without actually being specifically for that holiday. That makes sense. So that's the first one. The second one is having an evergreen line, and by evergreen I mean different shapes, different colors, and different patterns. I am talking about just things that I want to create that not necessarily fit on any season. They're just like color combinations or maybe shapes or patterns that feel interested to me, and that I would like to design jewelry or any other type of accessory. That also brings me to another goal that I have. Try to use my materials in stock first and only buy if necessary. I have so many colors of clay, and some of them are even duplicates, because again I didn't like write down all the inventory that I have when I was trying to create a new collection. And I will go to Michael's, I will spend a lot of money on color clay or even cutters or whatever it is, and then come back and realize I already have things that could work and I didn't have to spend money on it. I want to be really mindful of the money that I spend in my business and also the money that comes in. I also want to plan my designs, or at least my launches ahead of time, and do it strategically and intentionally. That also goes align with my other goal, which is trying to test new product categories besides jewelry. I am planning to do minimum one launch by season, but max two. The perfect will be two. One jewelry, because again that's my anchor, that's my specialty, and the other one will be a collection including a new product category. Another thing that I want to do is to participate in a market. Here where I live now, there's a lot of local markets, and the people of this town, they support local. It's amazing, the community here. So I think it's the perfect place for me to start trying to participate in new markets. I like to just go with the flow and see what happens, and I feel like a market will be the next logical step for my business. I also want to do a giveaway. I have no idea what I'm going to include a giveaway, when I'm going to do that giveaway, or even how I'm supposed to do that giveaway. But I know I want to do a giveaway. I feel like I have received so much support for my customers and people in general. I just think that is a good way to say thank you. Now, when it comes to content, because that's pretty much all about my business, but when it comes to content, I really want to focus this year on YouTube and on Instagram, but mostly on YouTube. I'm not going to be posting weekly anymore. I tried that and I feel like it's not working for me. I feel like I need to start focusing more on consistency and not so much on frequency. Instead of just creating a schedule, I would like to create a system. And by system, I mean filming whenever I'm working. And sometimes I don't work every week. So I don't want to put myself in that predicament of having to post every week and then not having enough content to post every week. Because I tried that, and what happened is that I started to do videos just to like fill that gap in my week. I feel like those videos feel really scripted and not genuine. So I have come into the conclusion that I'm no longer gonna be having a uploading schedule. I think I will just upload videos whenever they're ready and whenever I actually have something meaningful and entertaining to show you. I also want to focus this year on decorating my workspace. I'm still trying to figure out whether I like the setup. I definitely want to decorate it. I definitely want to create a really creative space and a cozy reading nook, because if you have seen my previous videos where I try to like organize my new workspace, I did like a reading corner, and I want to make it even more cozy, because right now it's just like a chair on a corner, you know? I want to have like a side table. I want to have more shelves to display my books. I want to make it my space, the place that I will spend my time to be creative or just to relax or be myself or whatever it is. And these two last goals are related to my business, but also are like kind of personal goals. And one of them is I want to try to support more local or non-local small businesses. I always try to do this. Like this notebook is from a small business. I try to buy all my cutters from small businesses. Like I always constantly try to support in some way, shape, or form small businesses, but I want to start doing it locally too. Instead of going to Starbucks, I can go to an actually local coffee shop and go edit my videos there and consume their coffee. Or I can, instead of going to Barnes and Nobles, I can go to a local library and purchase my books from there. And my last goal, that it's also personal, is to not overthink everything and trust and enjoy the process. I am an overthinker, and sometimes that can be a bad thing and have bad consequences. I want to try to just relax and focus on enjoying the process, and if it doesn't work out, at least I learned something from it and I had fun. That is like my mindset. I just want to calm down, go with the flow, and enjoy and learn along the way and trust the process. I just want to relax. I need to slow down. Those are my goals for this year. I am looking forward to see how many, if not all, I can accomplish. Now that we already talk about my goals, I also want to start talking about my plans for my new launches for this year. I am already planning or working on my first launch of the year for spring. I plan to do 2 launches for spring, one on March and probably the other one will be on April. I already started with the first one, and the first one is going to be jewelry related. The second one is going to be a different product, but I'm not gonna mention which one is not yet. What I can actually show you is the vision board for the first spring launch. So let me go to my computer and show you the vision board. It's going to be so pretty if it turns out how I envision it. Yeah, let me stop talking and start showing you. I apologize for my appearance. I had to redo this part of the video because for some reason the first time I recorded I was having trouble explaining myself. I was having trouble going to the point, and hopefully this time I can actually explain myself better. So let's start. So we are here in my Milanote dashboard. I have talked about Milanote before. I think it's a great platform to do specifically vision boards, and I have been using it since last year. And I don't remember where I discovered it exactly, probably from another creator, but I've been loving it specifically again for doing vision boards. And as you can see, I only have one board, which is for this spring launch, and you can already see that it is called The Little Garden, and it's basically inspired by that, a garden. So let's head into the actual vision board. So this is how the vision board looks like. As you can see, there's a main image in the center and there are other images surrounding it. Basically what I try to do with my vision boards is that I put the main idea in the center, and then I kind of like take it apart on the details that I want to include on my designs. So that's how specifically my vision board works. But I'm going to start explaining, of course, the main idea, which by the title of the collection you can already see, and it is a flower garden. And as you can see by the image, there's a lot of colors, a lot of green, a lot of flowers, and a lot of stone texture. This is basically all the details that I want to take apart from this picture for this main collection, or this idea behind this launch. And yeah, it's basically just all the things that you will find in a flower garden. So moving to the first idea is this one. I have this idea to try to do a design where there's like stone and flowers are coming from within the stones. I think that looks beautiful. I don't know if I'm gonna keep the flowers purple or if I'm gonna do them like multiple colors, or maybe I can do both. But definitely this is something that I want to incorporate in one of my designs, because I just think that, you know, when you go to a flower garden, you probably will encounter a path like this. So definitely that's one of the designs that I want to try. I also have this other one right here, which is like a path. Again, same concept but different style. It's more like kind of like steps or pebbles, and they have some designs on them, which I think it will be cool to try to do that into an earring. So that's definitely another one. So the next two pictures that I want to talk about are these two, which is like seeing a flower field from above, and you can only see all the green and then just like these little dots of flowers. I already did this design and I loved it. So I just wanted to do literally this, just this view of looking the grass and all the flowers from above. I cannot wait to show you how it turned out, because again, I already did that design and it is really pretty. I decided to go with the colorful, the multicolored flowers instead of just the whites and the pinks, and I think it was perfect. Maybe I will do more variations with different colors. Maybe with the white, that will look really cool for people that may not like colorful things. I can do some in white. That will be a good idea. But yeah, definitely I wanted to represent that alongside with the flowers. I also wanted to do kind of like a clustered earring with flowers, because those are my favorites to do. My best sellers are the tomato basil, and they're kind of like the cluster style of earring. So I definitely want to do something similar but with flowers, and they're all gonna be like multicolor flowers. So that's something that I also want to do. And the last design that I have in mind are related to bees and ladybugs. I've been wanting to do ladybugs and bees for a long time. I already have one design for bees, but it comes in like a multi-pack of studs, and I just wanted to try one that it was a little bit bigger. It's still gonna be a stud. It's just that this time I wanted to do it kind of like you can actually appreciate the details a little bit better. And these are going to be ladybugs and bees. I still don't know whether I want to do a pair of bees and a pair of ladybugs, because my main idea was to do them kind of like mixed match because they are both in the garden. But I don't know yet, to be honest. I will see how I feel when I actually make them, because if I want to do them like a mixed match, they have to be the same size and kind of like the same shape. So again, or maybe not, but I don't know. I think I will decide that once I actually prototype them, which is going to be probably the next video. I'm really excited about it. But yeah, that's definitely all that I have for this spring launch. It's going to be called again The Little Garden, and it's going to be inspired by all the things that you will find in a flower garden. I am really happy about this. I think it's a good representation of what Colorful Dose is, and or what I want Colorful Dose to become. Just like a place with a lot of color and joyful things. I also have here my color palette, which I took from these pictures. And I am proud to say that I was able to accomplish these exact colors on clay by mixing some of them. So I was able to get really close to the colors, and yeah, I am really excited. I do have a gray here, but the gray is just representing the stone color. There's actually a color clay that it's stoned kind of texture, so I just put the gray there just so I remember that I have to use the stone color for this collection. So that is it for the Little Garden spring collection. So that was all for this video. I hope you enjoy. I know it's a really chatty video, but I just wanted to sit down and update you and everything that's been going on, everything that's going to happen, and just share my goals with you. And it's also a way to keep myself accountable in case I don't, you know, I start forgetting what I am working towards for, or whatever. I will see you on my next video. Hopefully I will start working on this collection that I just explained. I'm really excited. I'm really happy. I think it's a good representation of what Colorful Dose is, or what I want Colorful Dose to become. So yeah, I am going to end this video here, and I hope you enjoy, and I hope to see you on my next one. Bye.